Good morning. It is 6:27 a.m. on Thursday, October 18th, 2018. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I didn't oversleep today. That's good. I am up and at them. Yesterday was mostly taken up by, at least the time not spent at work was mostly taken up just thinking about and preparing for upcoming Dungeons and Dragons activities, both a little bit of prep work on Extra Life and also just the session that we had yesterday evening. As it happened, a lot of the preparation wasn't strictly speaking needed for last night's session because we had a session where the characters spent some time catching up with one another and settling in a little bit and taking a breather where they can discuss their feelings about everything. And it turned out to be really fascinating because the party at the moment consists of two members of the original party, plus one member who joined later but has been there for a long time, and two members of the party that are brand new and don't know all that background yet. And so we ended up with a situation where each of the two newcomers got a different version of the story from depending on who they were talking to about it. And it was just kind of fascinating to see everyone kind of bringing their own perspective to it. And so I think there were some really interesting dynamics there. It was I enjoyed a great deal. And it was also pretty easy on me because it was just a lot of conversation, which just means that the stuff that I prepared will happen later, and so it's all fine. It wasn't wasted effort at all. Somehow I feel like when I just said that, it maybe sounded even a tiny bit sarcastic. Really not. The effort not wasted. Just because it just happens later. So it was, done earlier than it needed to be, perhaps, but that's all. In any event, it was a pretty fun session, and everybody seems to have a good time, which is, of course, the metric by which you judge success in these endeavors. I am a little bit groggy still. I think I need some more caffeine. But yeah. I realized yesterday that I have a doctor's appointment coming up, so I need to make time some morning, probably tomorrow, to go in and get some blood work done. It's kind of inconvenient because the place where I need to do it is like I have to drive. It's exactly in the opposite direction from work. But what are you gonna do? And I'm not like worried about it or anything. It's more just a matter of the inconvenience of it. Yeah, so I guess I've just got a lot of logistics on the brain today because I'm already thinking ahead of how it's like, okay, well, so I need to watch the latest episode of Survivor because it's on live while I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, so I don't get it live, but I need to watch the latest one, but Mike and I are not recording that tonight because, he's got a scheduling conflict, so we're going to do that later. So what else am I going to do tonight? Maybe I'll work more on editing. And just like getting in my head about all of that. So I feel like I'm perhaps not as interesting a conversationalist this morning because I'm really just thinking of some of those bare bones logistical stuff. But, in some ways that feels good. Like, I don't know that I felt bad before, but I will say the last couple of days, I feel like I have my act together a little better than I have. Again, and it's not a dramatic thing. It's not that I felt before like I didn't have my act together. I guess I just feel like last couple of days I have slightly more of a grip on things. And I think ultimately some of that comes down to just like physical stuff. There was no sharp transition or anything where like before I felt bad, now I feel good. It's really just I'm recognizing a shift in the last couple of days. And I think part of it is really just sort of, you know, having a relatively stable, healthy diet and keep in my various medications that I take, having everything sort of be on an even keel at the moment, and I think maybe that's part of it. But another part of it is just that the weather is getting nicer, meaning, in my opinion, not so hot. So that's definitely something that's got my mood improved. So anyway, I'll leave it there for now, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.